Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of JoyBaking.com. Today we're going to make blueberry muffins. This muffin has a soft and moist, almost bread-like texture. So to begin, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 190 degrees Celsius, and you will need a 12-cup muffin tin. And you can either lightly butter the muffin cups or spray them with one of those nonstick sprays, or I'm just using paper liners to do that. Now, this is a really easy muffin to make. We don't need any electric mixer. We're just going to make it by hand. One bowl for the wet ingredients, another for the dry, and then you mix them together and you're done. So we're going to start with the wet ingredients. You will need 1 large egg. And then I'm just going to lightly beat that. You can just use a wire whisk or you could use a fork. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 cup, that's 240 milliliters of plain yogurt, or you could use a vanilla flavored yogurt. You can use the full fat or the reduced fat. And you could even use the Greek style if you want. Just add that. Along with 1/3 of a cup, that's 80 milliliters of flavorless oil. That could be a vegetable, a corn, a canola, or even a safflower oil. And then lastly, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Try to use the pure, it's better flavor than the artificial. And then we're just going to whisk that together. Now it is the oil and the yogurt which gives these muffins that really soft, moist, bread-like texture. If you would like a more cake-like blueberry muffin, I do have a blueberry streusel muffin recipe on the site, if that's what you're looking for. So that's it for the wet. Now for the dry ingredients, in another large bowl, put 2 cups, that's 260 grams of an all-purpose flour, or you may know that as a plain flour. And to that, we're going to sweeten it with 1/2 cup, 100 grams of granulated white sugar, and then 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and just 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just going to whisk it together with a wire whisk. Simple enough. And then to that, I'm going to add, you can vary it between, depending on how full of blueberries you want your muffins to be, about 1 cup to 1.5 cups. So that's about 240 to 360 milliliters. And you can use either, I'm using the fresh cultivated blueberries, or you could use fresh blueberries, or even frozen. And make sure when you, if you're using fresh blueberries, to wash them and then pick through them and then discard any ones that are soft and mushy. And if you're using frozen, don't thaw them. Just be careful, like we're going to fold the blueberries in right here and just cover them all with the flour mixture. If you're using frozen, you have to be careful because how much you handle the batter, because you don't want the blueberries turn the whole batter blue. I mean, it still tastes great, but you'll have blue batter. So that's that. Now we're just going to add the wet ingredients. Now this is a really thick batter because of the yogurt. So just, if you're thinking it's too thick, don't worry about it. So that's the way it's supposed to. And then just gently mix them together. It's a lot thicker than if you use milk. That's a lot more runny batter than this. But that's what's going to, oh, it's just such a nice bread-like texture. I really like it. Now, if blueberries aren't in season, you could use raspberries, blackberries, cranberries. And if you'd like a little lemon flavor, you could add either some grated lemon, the outside peel of a lemon, or of an orange, or you could even add just a little orange or lemon extract. could use nuts. I mean, this is just a really good basic batter for muffins. So you really got to mix this in. As you can see, it's really thick. And also, this batter does not rise a lot as the muffin bakes. So we're going to fill the muffin cups right to the top. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now you could use just a spoon, and because what we're going to do is really pack that in. Or I'm going to use, a large ice cream scoop, either way. Few blueberries here, so I'm just going to stick them into the top of these. Okay, so now that's it. Now we're going to bake them somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. So what you're looking for is they'll turn nicely brown, and a toothpick inserted into the center will come out clean. Okay, our blueberry muffins are now done. As you can see, they're nicely browned, and they didn't get a lot of rise to them, so that's the way it's supposed to be. So I would let them cool on the wire rack for, maybe 10 minutes before you serve them. Now, the day they are made, the outer crust is kind of crispy. But if you cover them and store them overnight, you will notice that does soften, but they're still wonderfully moist and flavorful even the next day. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.